Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Now, welcome back to another Q&A. Not done one of these in a little while, so I thought we'd do one just for a bit of chill. If you do enjoy these, do throw a like on the video. Thank you very much. Right, so today we're going to cover topics basically from a bunch of people. And we're going to start with, what are my thoughts on Seraphine and the hate surrounding her? And do I think she'll be a better mid or support? So, Seraphine is the upcoming champion. And yeah, there is actually quite, I don't like the word hate, but I'm going to use the word controversy. A lot of people find her a little bit on the nose in a couple of ways. So you might be watching this go, oh, she's great, which is fantastic. It's always good to like things. But in essence, there are some people that think that she is literally Sona 2.0 and they don't see the point of having her when they're Sona, and a lot of people have left the feedback, why just not rework Sona as a KDA member? And there you go. There are some differences with Sona and Seraphine, but obviously there is, you can't hide it. There is a similarity. I personally think if they didn't want a bigger similarity, and like the devs I know of have been actually, and unfortunately been a little bit not depressed, but I know the devs have been a bit like, oh god, we didn't think it was that much like Sona. Maybe they shouldn't have given her also a floating platform. Like, the devs are like, oh, you know, this is our second music champion. There are other champions, like there are champions that both have swords. There's champion that both have shields. This is a music champion. But both music champions now in League have floating platforms that they stand on type of thing. So maybe that was a mistake to do, and it would have been better just to have her running around. I actually think the platform is very weird, personally. It just looks a bit jarring to the actual game of League itself. But I don't know. There is room probably for both of them mechanically. They are similar. The only thing that I've personally been a bit meh with, I've not loved her marketing personally. It's a made-up video game character that they've now got a Twitter account for, and they pretend that she's real. It's good marketing, I guess, but there is now, and maybe I should be thinking of other people, but I've even had it on Twitter of people that are genuinely thinking she's real. And obviously there's a bit of a concern there that it's a video game character and it's just a marketing team behind the Twitter account. But there's that. But whether I think she's going to be a better mid or support, I think initially people will really try to make her a mid laner. I think eventually she'll end up as a support. That's my genuine, unless Riot is just putting their foot down and going, she's not a support, that's Sona in that role, then yeah, I do see it. Like, there's been many majors that were designed for mid and end up supports. Zyra, Swain right now, he's a mid laner, but he's probably better in support right now. There are a few, so there's that. Next up is, do I think Riot should enable temporary name changes for partners to avoid ghosting? So you can use your main account Huzzy, but other people see something else. It has been spoken about. So obviously I can't always say what has been spoken about in the League Partner Program, but it has been brought up that, when you're a League Partner account, you could choose, you have your proper name, let's say for me, it's Huzzy, but then what other players see is, anything. It can be Chicken Boy 24, whatever it may be. That's what other people see. Because ghosting is a thing, and not what's usually the case, and because I don't really think I've ever been stream sniped. So there's a difference between stream sniping and ghosting. Stream sniping is when you're watching someone stream, and you click you see them click the play button, and if you're in the same rating, you purposely queue at the same time because you're watching their stream in hopes that you get the player on your team or the enemy team. That's stream sniping by my definition. Ghosting is when you're watching the stream actively to try and get an advantage. So you're on the enemy team and you're watching the stream on one monitor, you're playing on another, and you know where the ward positions are. You know what people are typing in chat or whatever. It could be like, oh, let's focus bot lane, and now they know that. That's ghosting. I don't ever think I've been stream sniped. I don't think anybody has purposely been watching my stream and sniped me in queue. Ghosting, sure, there's been very obvious cases of ghosting that's happened in the past, and this type of thing would help it. So the reason why it would be helping it is most ghosting, and I would say this is the vast majority of ghosting that happens with streamers, is that when you're loading into the game, they'll go, oh, Huzzy, I recognize that name, he's that streamer. Is he online? Oh, he's online. Oh, I'll watch his stream and while I'm playing. That's most of the time when it happens with ghosting. So if I was in a loading screen, and I am playing on the Huzzy account, but the enemy team don't see Huzzy, they see something else, well, that would probably help. So it has been spoken about. Whether they're going to do it or not, I don't know. Again, let's be honest, it's fairly low priority because there's not an insane amount of league partners given the grand scheme of the game. And I'm sure if they did this change, I imagine some people will be pretty angry going, you know, there's all these other things to do for the whole community and you're doing this little change for like a couple hundred people in the league partner program. But I would say I would be for it. I think it would be kind of nice because I've always said the pressure of playing on the account that's called Huzzy, it's surprising. It's more than you think. But if publicly, you know, that name isn't the one that it is kind of hidden, then I think that would be kind of cool. But I don't know if it will ever happen. But it has been spoken about. Next up is, do I prefer Riot's recent trend of releasing several new champions back to back, or would I prefer that they work on more VGUs for old champions heading into next year? So we already know what the answer is going to be. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be, feel free in the comments to correct me, we have the Dr. Mundo VGU. That's going to be the Dr. Mundo rework, which I'm looking forward to because Mundo is a fairly basic champion, pretty old, so bringing him more modernized, I'm for it. But I think they said that they're not really doing VGUs next year apart from the Mundo, which is going to be coming out like very early in 2021, I think, because they already announced their champion, what they're going to be doing in the new year. So their champion roadmap nowadays, and they've said from now on, there are going to be 6 new champions a year, which means there is a new champion roughly every 2 months. That's a lot. And the way that they said it is it's going to be 1 for every role. So 1 top, 1 jungle, 1 mid, 1 AD carry, 1 support, but actually 2 mids. That's the way that they said it. So 2 mids, one from every other role. That makes the 6 champions. And the reason why they're doing 2 mids is, I would presume by their data, probably mid lane champions are the most popular. Like if you look at the champions that have the historically most skins and, you know, the KDA members, a lot of them are mid laners. It's a popular role. Obviously, the league's most popular role is mid lane. So it doesn't surprise me. And obviously, you have a mage mid laner. You might have an AD mid laner. So you have a variance there too. So I would prefer if they did a reworks. There are many champions in League that I just think need a little bit of polish. Just need a little bit of love to bring them into what I would say is 2020. But they're not really getting that. Udyr, I think, is prime for something. Quinn as well. There's a bunch, and you know, Mundo is one, and he's getting it, thankfully. But Riot's going in the direction of new champions. The reason why, again, it's a very basic reason. It's money. Let's be honest. So a new champion, nobody owns it, so everybody has to buy it. Everybody has to buy the skins. If you're doing a rework of a old champion, well, most of the player base might still own that champion, and most of the player base owns the skins already that they want for that champion. So Riot isn't really making new money from reworking old champions. Like, not a lot. Compared to a new champion, it's insanely probably different. So that's probably why. But it does concern me because, like, we have 150 champions in the game right now. Give it another few years, we're going to be closing into 200. It's way too many characters, but there's that. Next up is, do you see yourself sticking to only League content for my main YouTube channel? Because as we've seen on the stream, League content is becoming harder and harder to make. Would love some other games, including COD, basically. So it basically just depends my confidence level. Like, my stream is different to my YouTube channel. It's obviously a smaller community, but it's a more tight community. And I think people are also not just there for League. They are there for the community aspect and talking and just having a good time. On YouTube, a lot of you, I would imagine, are mainly here for League. But it's a confidence thing. Like the Call of Duty video that we uploaded a few weeks ago, it did okay, but obviously less than League. But if I'm honest, the YouTube channel hasn't been doing fantastic for a little while. Maybe it'll peak back up in new season in January when we kind of start like climbing again. And I am going to be taking season 11 a lot more seriously. I've just not had my mind in season 10 with everything going on in the world and some background stuff. Like I've just not I've just not been in Season 10. Like, I've been okay. Again, we're still... you know, it's the funny thing. The League community is a weird beast. I say I'm not really in League at the moment. I'm not playing my best. I'm not the highest rating. But if you look at my profile, I'm still in the top 0.5%. So of me having what I would say is actually a kind of poop season, that's still not terrible. But I do grant, you know, why, you know, the views might be a bit lower, whether it's a YouTube problem or it's obviously not all going to be a YouTube problem, is I do realize my drive for, like, competitive content hasn't been there. But I am hoping in Season 11 it will return. The new items, they do worry me, but I also think it's going to bring a breath of fresh air to the game. I've spoken to Rioters about them obviously making changes and, you know, background stuff, and I'm pretty confident Season 11 will be better than Season 10. So I will be tryharding League, but when it comes to other games, yeah, I'd like to upload other games on the channel. I used to, but basically, again, it's a confidence thing. It's a risk thing. You know, if when I wasn't a professional YouTuber is the way that I'd say it. When I was just doing this as a hobby, as a university student, I used to do something called Huzzy one-shots. You know, also I didn't upload every day. I didn't upload 2 videos a day. Because I wasn't financially, this wasn't my job. You know, I was a uni student. That was the main thing. And I did YouTube for fun. But obviously in the last 3 to 4 years, this is my job. So I take it more seriously. Uploading 2 videos a day every day. League content is primary. But I don't know, maybe, you know, considering how much I upload, 14 videos a week. Again, if one of those videos is something else, just one of those videos, like, I think that's fine. So maybe I'm going to bring back Huzzy one-shots when I'm actually in the mood to play a different game. I can make a video on it or whatever. You know, Call of Duty is the game that I enjoy the most right now. But that might not last forever. So, like, what I would say is I have loved being a content creator for a long time, and I still do. But, you know, when you're a one-game content creator, it sucks when you get burnt out of that game. You know, I'm not going to pretend that I've played League of Legends and I've never got burnt out of the game. I have, but I've had to continue playing it because of this. But I'm being more lax on myself. Like, even on the stream, if I'm having a bad game, normally a year ago, I would go, right, I'm just going to play League and League and League and League. And that's when my mood would get worse and worse and worse. I'm more lax on myself. That's why we are doing replay videos more often, because I'm just chilling, and I still think it's good content. Or I go play a COD game or a Fall Guys game on stream, and then I come back to League of Legends when the mood and I'm feeling good. It's just having that feeling. So yes, I will be uploading other things than League, but League will still be the primary, and I'm hoping in the new season that, you know, it'll be like a breath of fresh air, and we'll be tryharding and hopefully doing quite well. But yeah. Next up is, what do I think of recent prestige skins? I have heard a lot of criticism that they are now more low effort, less worth than the original ones, etc. And what about the general concept? I'm not a big fan of prestige skins, which may surprise some people, because I get them for free, that I don't have to do the grinding for them, because I own every skin in the game. If I just re-roll 3 tokens and I don't own anything else, I get the prestige skin. They're supposed to be like, you know, the skin that, like, say you main a champion and the prestige comes out, it's like, that is the skin that you should be aiming for. But I just don't think they're fantastic. Like, they're becoming less special. Like, when they first came, I was like, oh, damn, only maybe a few of these a year. No, there's, like, quite a lot of them now. You know, there's Kai'Sa as a champion. I think she's getting her 2nd prestige skin already. That's a bit iffy to me. And obviously what they're designed for, again, we said it earlier, and I'm not trying to paint Riot as a money-hungry company, but again, companies need money to survive. They're for money. Like, the average, I think, averagely, someone unlocking a prestige skin, if you're, like, doing the loot or you're doing the quest, I think it's an $80 to $100 skin on average. That's a lot for one skin. So that's what they're mainly for. I'm not a massive fan of them. I would probably dislike them more if I didn't just get them. As I said, I just re-roll them. So I'm not that fussed about them, because I just get them easily. But I would imagine there's quite a lot of frustration for people that, like, actually have to earn it. Like, if you're a set main, you're like, dude, I really need that prestige set. But, you know, you're not wanting to fork out $80 to $100 to try and get it. Like, I completely understand the frustration in the community, completely. But, yeah. Next up, apart from World of Warcraft, what other MMOs have I played? I've played a lot of them. So yeah, WoW is the main one, but I played RuneScape before WoW. I've played WildStar a little bit when it was actually, like, a thing, but obviously that game died. I played a little bit of Star Wars: The Old Republic. I played Guild Wars 2. I played Lord of the Rings, the online game of Lord of the Rings. I played a tiny bit of Elder Scrolls Online. I used to play, if this counts, I don't know if this counts. If anybody used to play, it was an old pirate game called Sea Fight. It was a 2D multiplayer game. Graphically, it was terrible, but it was a really good game back in the day. I played Pirates of the Caribbean Online as well. I like pirates. But yeah, I played quite a lot of MMOs. I'm willing to give a lot of them a try. I know there's the new one, which is like an anime one. I looked at it. Doesn't really look like my thing, so I'm not playing that. But, you know, I like MMOs. I just don't... The problem with MMOs, without sounding bad, MMOs are really good when you don't have a lot going on in life. So, like, when I was a late teenager and I didn't really like my life too much, that's when I gained all the weight and all that stuff. WoW was amazing because it was a way that I could, like, escape my mind of all, like, the negative thoughts. WoW was fantastic. But obviously the danger of that, you can lose yourself too much to something like World of Warcraft. Obviously life, I'm in a much healthier, happier place. So the need of something like World of Warcraft is less in my life. And also spare time. Like, to actually play one of those games, you need to commit to them. I don't have time to commit to them. I really don't. I'm surprisingly a busy person. So I will be playing the upcoming WoW expansion, but very minimally. Like leveling my character, maybe doing some dungeons, maybe looking for raid every now and then. That's probably about that. But there we go. All right, next up is, do you think the Riot will make new champs that feel like old champs instead of updating old champs? Okay, so this is something that I've heard before too. So, you know, we said earlier, why are Riot releasing new champions instead of just reworking old ones? I said, oh, it's for money because it's a new champion. Everybody has to buy it. Everybody has to buy the skins for it. Where before, you know, if let's say Sona, they rework Sona. Well, everybody still owns Sona and everybody owns the skins of Sona. They don't really make much money. Well, now they have Seraphine, new champion. Everybody's got to buy it and everybody wants to buy the new champion and the new skin, including the new ultimate skin. Again, Sona has an ultimate skin too. You know, if you just make a new version of Udyr, like if we see in this year, upcoming 2021, a shape-shifting jungler that kind of replaces Udyr, it might confirm that. Because it's like, instead of reworking Udyr, here's a newer version of him, but we're still keeping Udyr in the game. Obviously, it just, you know, I doubt that's the way they're going with it, but like, what I would say, if they do it again, because Seraphine is quite similar to Sona, if they do it again, then I would be a bit sus. I'd be a bit like, really? Again, why didn't you just rework that champion? But I doubt that's the case. But yeah. But by the way, I would say that Riot has learnt quite a lot about the community's feedback. Like, literally, I follow a lot of the devs on Twitter, and some of them have been pretty, like, taken back by, like, the community really comparing to Sona, and I think they don't want that again. So I doubt they're going to go with that in the future. Next up as well, maybe the final one, there's a lot of champions in the game at the minute with very specific kits that fulfill certain various power fantasies, as Riot often calls them. Like Pyke is an all-in support assassin, Xerath is a super long-range poke mage, and Alawi is you know, life-stealing all-in bruiser type thing. However, is there any particular niche that you feel is missing from the game, or a particular one that you feel you'd love to see and be able to play? Ooh. So what type of power fantasy would I like? So again, you know, you have to kind of think of what type of playstyle do you feel is missing from the game, because you know, you've got a sniper, you've got Caitlyn, you've got a pirate man, Gangplank. So like, what type of thing? Oh, well, again, there is a type of thing. I've always said I'd love to have an element bending champion, but obviously there is Talia, there is Kiana, but they've never really. I don't play either of them. They've never fulfilled what I kind of want. I kind of want like the Avatar. You know, like the Avatar, like Lux obviously has an elementalist skin, but like, you know, like the Avatar, Legend of Aang, Legend of Korra, that they can control the elements. I kind of want that as a champion. That maybe, and like the way that the champion could be is at the start of the game, you pick your element, and maybe you only can change your element once or something in the game, or so. I don't know how, but like, or how it would work, but like maybe to make it balanced, You can't be like, right, your water that does healing now, you can't suddenly change to a fire DPS mage. You selected healer, so that is what you are this game. Maybe that would be cool. Like a champion that is really versatile, but like only versatile depending what they select at the beginning. In champion select, like you're playing, let's call them Bob. Bob in champion select, you select Earth. Okay, you're a tanky top lane bruiser this game because you're Earth. Oh, you picked fire, that's the mid lane fire mage. You picked water, that's the healing support. You picked air, that's the assassin jungler. That would be really cool. And maybe you can't swap different elements because, like, yeah, to balance it, you'd have to, like, you know, select it at the beginning of the game because that would also help with the role that you're selecting too. But obviously some people say that will be kind of 4 champions in one. But I wouldn't put it past Riot doing that nowadays with their new champion designs. Their new champion designs are kind of crazy. They make everything overpowered, so that wouldn't surprise me if they ever did that, and that you could link it with really good skins, you know, and expensive skins, because Riot could say it's 4 champions in one, kinda. This skin is really expensive. It could be an ultimate skin at the beginning. But that would be my idea. That's my power fantasy. Let me know what yours are down below if you've got any. But that's going to be it. If you guys enjoy, thank you so much for watching. Obviously, as always, the footage in the background, if I had any, was most likely a pretty poop game of League of Legends. Because generally, if it's a good game of League of Legends, it gets uploaded as a commentary. If it's a poop game, well, that's usually the footage I use for Q&As. But once again, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hope you're doing well, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.